What's up, guys? We're back at the 70 today, and I'm standing in my big bottom plot right now. I am thrilled with how these beans look, and for those of you who've been following along, last year after about mid-November we really ran out of food and didn't have anything down here. This year should be a different story. Obviously these beans look great, so I'm assuming they should produce a lot of pods. Today I have a vitalized brassica mix with me. I'm gonna overseed these beans with those brassicas, and then we got rain coming later tonight and tomorrow, so I'm gonna hopefully get some urea down too. So I'm excited with how this looks. Like I said, beans look fantastic, and we should be able to time this really good with the rain coming and getting these brassicas down. So I'm gonna get the hand seeder loaded up, and we're gonna get after it. So just wanted a quick touch on my strategy here. Like I said, got a bag of vitalized brassicas, and that includes, I think the heaviest seed in there is the radishes, and then there's a couple different varieties of turnips, a couple different varieties of brassicas. And obviously have these beans in. After our experience last year, in particular when the weather got a lot cooler and then when we had snow, there was just no food here and the deer were barely using it. So taking that into mind for this year, I wanted to obviously change that and provide them with as much late season food as possible and then as much tonnage as we possibly could. So with these beans being how they are, they're fairly thick, but I'm still gonna come in with these brassicas and overseed these. And what that should do is allow those brassicas to take off. Obviously getting this seed down, and with rain coming, that should provide some good seed to soil contact, and then hopefully give us, at least the areas where the beans aren't too thick, give us even more tonnage and more food. So like I said, I just wanted to be able to have a lot more food compared to last year, and now combining these beans plus these brassicas, that should hopefully accomplish that for us. And I still do have this strip in front of the blind that I just planted into cereals last year, and then I did frost seed both clover and chicory. There's a couple spots that look great with the clover and chicory. It does need a mowing just to get those cereals knocked down, but I'll get that taken care of. We have plenty of time to get cereals in anyway. Also, one other thing, so the portion outside of the fence on the south side of this food plot where it was not fenced, those beans do not look near as good, so I'm still going to get brassicas on those. And yeah, I'm excited to hopefully have a lot more food this year. So I'm going to get this vitalized in the hand seeder here and get going. So I wanted to quick emphasize one big priority for me, and that's trying, especially when just overseeding, trying to time it with a rain just to ensure that seed does get really good seed to soil contact, and then that rain can try and just pressure that into the ground as much as possible. So like I said, it's supposed to rain tonight and then tomorrow, so that should be great. And I just got this seeder filled up. That bag is good for about an acre, so don't really have the need to measure that out. This field is probably about 3/4 of an acre, but I'm gonna go a little heavier on the outside portion of this fence. I'm gonna get going on this field and get it taken care of. Well, I just wrapped up seeding the interior portion of the fence, and now I'm gonna get going on the exterior portion. And it is very clear that the fence was a huge necessity down here, just with how good the beans look inside the fence and how poor the beans look outside of it. And I can't emphasize it enough how on these smaller food plots like this one is, especially when you're planting something like beans, or even when we did brassicas last year, the fence has just saved us big time from letting the either brassicas or beans get overbrowsed so much. And I think that's obvious just by a side-by-side comparison going from exterior to interior. So like I said, I'm gonna get these overseeded with the same vitalized brassica mix. Not sure what the result's gonna be with it not being fenced, but if anything, it'll just provide some more tonnage. And worst case, I got a couple bags of cereal grains from Vitalize as well that I can drill into the exterior also. So I'm gonna get finished up on the exterior. We got a little bit of seed left, get that wrapped up, and then we got a couple more things to take care of. So I got a bag of urea here, and I was just thinking things over, and I'm gonna hold off on the interior portion until we get some germination from those brassicas before I put this on. The exterior portion, however, that is where those beans are browsed down so low, and I'm gonna just spread a fair amount of that on the exterior to hopefully give those brassicas outside of, even before germination, but those ones outside the fence, a little bit of jump start there. So I'm going to spread this on the outside of the fence, and then maybe, I don't know, there's a couple portions that are kind of not a lot of beans inside, so maybe I'll put a little bit on that. But yeah, I'll get this taken care of. Then I want to make sure this fence is still hot, and then yeah, maybe one or two other things, but that should give it a wrap on today. So I'm going to get this seeder filled up, get the exterior with some urea down. All right, just want to quick touch on a couple things. First off, why I didn't put urea on those beans or those brassicas inside the fence. Obviously beans don't need them because they don't need much nitrogen whatsoever. And probably a slim chance, but with these actively growing and how good they look, I didn't want to burn these leaves at all on them while they were still growing. So worst case, I'll just come back after those brassicas start germinating, especially inside, and get urea down. And then secondly, I wanted to re-emphasize just the importance of this fence here. And I did bring the sprayer just in case we need to spray around it. But I mean, really the only thing growing is there's some beans that are just actually touching the fence. So it's kind of gonna break my heart having to weed whip those beans down around the fence. But I just want to make sure that this fence stays on and continues to do its job, especially with hopefully those brassicas starting to germinate. Haven't really thought too far ahead yet as to when I'm going to take this fence down, but definitely going to leave it up for the foreseeable future just to ensure that we get as much tonnage as possible. So I'm going to go around with the weed whip here, knock everything back, and then yeah, that should be a day for us up here, and then we just keep our fingers crossed for rain. So get this weed whip going, get that knocked out. Well, that's a wrap on today. Got everything taken care of we wanted to up here. Obviously got those beans overseeded, and once again, they look phenomenal, and I'm just really excited about what that's hopefully going to turn into. Just looked at the forecast again, and we do have rain coming both tonight and tomorrow, so we should time this up just perfectly. So overall, happy with how today went. Didn't have a ton to do, but got everything we wanted to get done, taken care of. I know it's already early August, and next time I'm up here, would love to get a couple cameras rolling and to hopefully get an inventory of what's around here. And yeah, things are shaping up really nicely. Hopefully you all have some good bucks on camera so far if you got cameras out, and it's crazy that we're only 2 months away from season. So definitely have some more things we want to take care of up here, and thankfully have a little bit of time to get that done. So we'll definitely be back up here in the next couple weeks. And as always, really appreciate you guys all following along. All the insight, recommendations, and everything that you guys provide is really helpful and beneficial. So as always, thanks for watching. We will be back up here in the next couple weeks, so we'll see you guys on the next one.